Yeah, and we've always liked this matchup, and we know, like you say, and we've just kind of had a kinship in playing games and tough games against each other and all that. So the preparation has been smooth, and they've been really impressive. This is as good as they've looked in a long time with their running game, man. It is really on fire right now. So we've got a lot to handle here.
Go back to that first meeting for just a second. What did you do right? What did you have to overcome in that game? Why did you win that football game?
Well, if you remember, we didn't do well early in the game, and we were kind of having some problems getting started. And we came out at halftime with a real thought of how we're going to get after it. And the guys just took to it. Defense came through. We had a bunch of stops in a row, kind of like the other night, and the offense responded as well. Made a couple big plays, and there was a couple of plays in the kicking game that we took advantage of too, if you remember. Mm-hmm. They mishandled the ball, and we got a short field and all that. So some things worked well across the board, and we put together a real strong win. And then we had to hold them off with the young quarterback, and we were able to do that, and we got out of there with a good victory.
Is that one of those things that you then walk in on Wednesday morning or Friday morning or Sunday, whatever, and you say, remember this, remember what we just did a few weeks ago? This is the same team. We got to play these guys again. You remember what you just did.
I hate to break your mojo here, but no, we don't do that.
No,
that's too long ago, and really it didn't have anything to do with what's going on now. They're playing different. We're working our way through our issues, and it's we just don't. I don't draw much on those. We learn from it. We talk about the things, the matchups, the concepts, and the principles and stuff like that. But it doesn't really. That we don't need that kind of motivation. That's not what we need to be really focused and drill into what's present right now, what's going on, because they are different right now, and so that we need to be on it.
Okay, they're not going to have maybe their best athlete on offense. Deebo Samuel's not going to play. A plus for you. What is it about this kid that he's just really such a good football player?
There's nobody playing in the game today that's more aggressive as a wide receiver. He is just as tough as you can get, physical with the ball on the attack. So much so that they put him in the running back last couple of weeks, and he's kind of getting overexposed a little. He got banged up, but he's just a force to be reckoned with because he's so physical.
When you described all the ways that and his effectiveness as a runner of the football, you could have been describing the newest Seahawk. Adrian Peterson has been at practice now for a few days, and he just has that look about him. But at 36, can he help this football team right now?
Well, I don't see anything that tells us otherwise. We're thrilled he was on the practice field with us this week, so we could see who he is and what he is as a ball player. From up close. I recruited the guy back in college, so I've known him since he was a high school kid and all, and always had great respect for him and followed his career. And we played against him back in the day and all that kind of stuff in college. And it's a thrill for me to have a chance to coach the guy. And so he worked really hard at practice. He's always been a notorious, worker, and he showed that to us. And I think guys picked their step up a little bit, and they thought, well, holy cow, this guy can do it. I better catch up with him a little bit, and send a real message to some of the younger kids, which was great. That's what leadership is, And so we're a real positive experience so far, and excited to see what we can do with them and see how that's going to fit together.
I was going to say, I remember back in the day when our expansion draft happened back in '76, we had Mike Curtis as one of our players. Now, for a guy like me, grew up back there, watched him. What a fantastic football player. But over the years, Franco Harris came here, Jerry Rice came here, and granted, they weren't at the peak of their careers, but there was something about having them there that rubbed off on all of us because those guys are winners, and they have been around winners all their careers. I'm sure when you look at the Mr. Peterson, you see that too.
It's absolutely the truth. I mean, that's what comes across. You can sense his kind of respect for the game, and it makes you want to do your best too. And he elevates you, and so that's what great players have had the ability to do. And when you can, it's really obvious, it's valuable. And so it was great to have him in, and excited to see if there's something how we can work him in.
Pete, there was I have to ask you this. There was a headline this week somewhere, one of the papers or something, and it said the offense is broken. I don't think that you believe the offense is broken, but at this point, is it as much a thing of confidence as it is physically out there on the field? What's happening with the O?
But I don't feel that part of it at all, because Russ just doesn't let you go there. He is such a confident guy in his language, which is always so powerful now. The way you speak and his words and his drive is really at the front of what we're doing. So with that, I don't see that happening at all. I'm just tell you, like I think I mentioned it during the week earlier when we were taking the field for the final 2-minute drives. We've done this before, and the kind of talk that the really simple talk that I've exchanged with him over the years, in these kinds of situations, and watched him come through so much that he's not doubting anything. But we have to play better, and that's. I don't think it's a confidence thing right now. I think we have to execute better, and we've got to come through in the moments, really in the crucial moments, so that we can keep the drives alive and keep the ball moving. So I look around, we have guys that can do stuff, and so we just got to keep delivering that thing to them and give them a chance. And we'll see if we can make a little turn here before it's over.
Finally, Pete, you said this week that it's becoming clearer how to move forward, and you said it's also clear to you that you really have to be true to yourself. That I'm guessing that's not a big revelation to you. You've always been true to yourself. What does that mean, though, with respect to Seahawks football? Just
more so that is what the challenge is all about. That you don't let the circumstances around you, alter who you are, what you represent, and all. You got to bring your best, and to bring your best is to be truest to yourself. And so that's there's a little time in there where I was I didn't return to that thought, it was very helpful and a powerful thought to go do the best you can and work as hard as you can and bring it and show anybody else who might be struggling with that thought that what it looks like and try to lead in that direction, so in that manner. And so that's we're battling now. I'm telling you, these guys we practiced great this week. We were flying around. They brought the energy. Their anticipation of doing something good is out there and force that keeps the belief alive and keeps us going. So we want to go win a football game as bad as you can want it. And so and we've prepared to do that. So we have a chance. We have a real chance.
Well,